Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. So anyway, shall we read some news articles?
Let's see. What is happening in the world? Nothing good, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, there's a fun little one that we're going to finish with. It starts dark,
Finish
it
on
gets
a high.
darker, and then finishes on a high note.
It's classic storytelling, that.
Yeah. Oh, no, I have the wrong thing up. Okay, so there we go. This comes from Right Wing Watch. Several GOP candidates are joining Q Anon conspiracy theorists for an event in Pennsylvania.
It just sounds like The Onion or something. I don't know what's real anymore.
Nothing is real anymore. Nothing and everything. So
tragic.
Yeah, so okay. Is this a real last name? It sounds made up to me. I mean, like, yeah, all last names are made up if you go back far enough. It's like Alan and Francine Fosdick. Like, I don't generally make fun of people's names.
I feel like you wouldn't choose that though, right? If you were making up a pseudonym, you probably wouldn't choose that.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, Dick didn't always mean what it did. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't have had Dick being a nickname for Richard. I also used to work with a guy who, I'm not going to say his full name, but his first name started with E and his last name was Dick. And everybody just called him E-Dick. And he didn't believe that we landed on the moon.
Oh,
so that
what
was
a coincidence.
So yeah, people with Dick in their last names tend to be conspiracy theorists, I guess.
There we go.
I'm sorry if your last name is Dick and you're not a conspiracy theorist.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, so these two, they host a program called Upfront in the Prophetic, and it promotes stuff like President Joe Biden was executed and replaced by an imposter who is wearing a mask.
Yep.
Like, what? That was the first I'd heard of that one. Like, I had heard that, like, Joe Biden was, like, a fake guy that was planted by Trump, and that like, he was really Trump in disguise or something, and that's how, like, Trump won the election. But, like, what?
Sure.
They just killed him and replaced him with some other guy?
I like that. It's like Face Off.
Who
we have the technology.
I'm curious about that one. I want to know who did the replacing, and like, is the replacement like one of the reptilians that QAnon is fighting against, or is it like part of the deep state? Or no, not the deep state. Deep state's also against QAnon, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. I think the lizards are part of the deep state, right?
I don't know. I can't keep
It's been a while since I've caught up.
You know what? The first time I heard about the deep state, I honestly, it wasn't in any crazy sort of conspiracy like site or anything. Like, I just heard that, like, some people believe that there is a secret group of, like, government higher ups that are, like, working quietly behind the scenes to undermine everything that Trump did, and it was presented very reasonably, and my gut reaction was like, good. That sounds like a great thing to have happening right now.
That makes sense.
How do we even know about this? And then I started looking into it more. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So yeah, I'm on record now as wanting the deep state to be a thing that exists.
You're just trying to bait those reaction videos, aren't you?
I guess. So she once hosted a prayer call aimed at exposing former President Barack Obama's supposed involvement in child trafficking and uncovering the true identity of Michelle Obama as a man. So I
love that those two things are equally important.
Yeah, like, they just got to get a little transphobia in there.
Yeah, like Michelle Obama's gender and massive child trafficking ring run by the government. I mean, like,
as long as we're talking about the child trafficking ring, let me just take a quick sip of my adrenochrome. Yeah, that's a thing that I recorded. That's also in tomorrow's video, by the way. That was one of those moments where it's like, okay, I've just made a mess on my office floor. I've stained my shirt with, I think it was tomato juice. Or no, it was adrenochrome. I've stained a perfectly good shirt. It was one of my better shirts too, so it was just like, I wasn't really thinking when I did it. And like, it was just one of those like, okay, if I'm going to this much trouble for this like 2-second silly joke of a shot, I'm going to use that for more than just that.
Yeah, that's got to be a regular to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. So despite these people being like full-blown conspiracy theorists, thinking the craziest of the conspiracy theories are true, like these ridiculous things, a bunch of GOP candidates and like people who are running for, Doug Mastriano is running for governor. Let's see, who else is there? This whole article is just basically a list of them. Teddy Daniels is running for lieutenant governor. Kathy Barnett is running for the U.S. Senate for Pennsylvania. So I guess that'd be the federal Senate, not the Pennsylvania State Senate. So yeah, you need more QAnon supporters to keep Marjorie Taylor Greene company in the Senate, right? No, she's not in the Senate.
Isn't that just
she's
wild?
In the House.
Yeah. It's amazing that this is a thing that people like running for governor can do, and it's not the sort of thing that comes out as a secret and there's sufficient backlash that their career would be ruined. It's mad.
Yeah, you remember back like when Watergate happened, and well, okay, we're both too young to remember that, but
yeah.
But like that back then, like they got away with a lot of shit back then, but if you got caught, you had to resign.
That was the end. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be like a thing now.
Every single day of the Trump administration was a scandal that dwarfed Watergate. Every single day.
Yeah, this is just what we live with now. Can I just say as well, the Patriots Arise event poster is the most like aggressively American thing I've ever seen.
America, fuck yeah!
It's so good. It looks like a parody.
It really does. Yeah, and so I guess like the response to this is like it's the common response to this from the GOP people when they get called out for it is like, oh, well, you're doing a guilt by association thing. Oh, that's not fair. Just because the other people at the conference believe that doesn't mean I believe that. It's like, okay, you could choose not to speak at the conference. Like if you do just a base level of vetting at the events that you speak at.
Yeah.
Then you won't be in this position where you'll be guilty by association.
Yeah, and I mean my response to that would be, well, what of their views do you agree with? Why are you attending? What is it that you share with them that you believe in enough to like stand with people who have those crazy views? Because there's got to be something.
Yeah, so there's an author, Sheila Holm, who she thinks that the Men in Black are real, but for some reason they couldn't control Donald Trump. Is it that you need to have a fully functioning brain for the flashy thing to work?
Yeah, maybe they tried and then it was too late.
See, I think the Trump presidency is pretty solid evidence that the big conspiracies like Area 51 and shit like that didn't actually happen. Because can you imagine him actually sitting on that as a secret?
Oh yeah, no, it would all be blasted everywhere and like, you know, misconstrued to a much bigger conspiracy than it would actually be. Yeah
So this is American politics now. That's fun.
It's kind of just depressing. So part of me was like, wow, what would a convention like that actually be like? And then I was like, probably scary, probably a lot of crazy people with guns. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'd just rather never know.
I kind of want to attend one, but I also really don't want to attend one.
Yeah, I would be afraid to attend one. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I'd like to attend via like a little secret camera on somebody's collar. That would be great.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a double agent inside the Patriot Arise for God and Country event.
Yes.
Taking back what is rightfully ours.
I really want to know. I mean, I know that it's essentially just dog whistle as a phrase, but like I want to know what they're taking back and from whom and how they know that it rightfully belongs to them and who ours encompasses. There's just that one sentence says so much and yet nothing at all.
They're taking it's one of two things. They're either like if you ask them about it, this will be the public answer, is that it's about the stolen election.
Mm-hmm.
But what they want you to get from that is make America great again. Let's go back to the 1950s before civil rights and take the country back from the liberals and the gays and the trans and the blacks and
Yeah. It's just not as
yeah.
catchy a tagline, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and it's harder to dance away from the fact that that's what you want if you just come out and say it.
Yeah, true.
This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, everybody knows that that's what you're getting at, but there's enough plausible deniability that,
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate.
it's pretty unfortunate.
Oh, so you remember when we were scheduling this together? This is completely off topic, so I'm transitioning to the next article by completely derailing. So remember when we were scheduling this, and I said that Thursdays would work better than Fridays because my daughter gets home from school early on Fridays?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot that we're celebrating a human sacrifice tomorrow, so all the schools are closed.
Oh, yeah.
So my daughter's on the Friday schedule today, so there is a non-zero chance that she'll pop in at the end of the stream.
Oh, yeah. I forgot until like 10 minutes ago. So,
Yeah, so happy Human Sacrifice Day, everybody. That's
yay.
tomorrow. And then I guess Sunday is it's not actually a sacrifice because it only counts as sacrificial if you stay dead day.
Yes. Just roll out of bed early day. I don't know. How would you? I don't know. I don't know what people do to celebrate that.
You need to find a catchier name that encompasses that feeling. Human Sacrifice Day works.